Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Have you ever taken a closer look at that shiny quarter in your hand and noticed the date says 1776 to 1976? If you have one of these in your collection or even tucked away in an old jar at home, then you might be holding a piece of American history that could be worth more than just 25 cents. Today we're unlocking the incredible story and hidden value behind the United States Bicentennial quarter dollar, and trust me, collectors across the country are always on the lookout for this one. This isn't just any coin, it's a special release created to celebrate 200 years of American independence, and it stands out instantly with its dual date and its iconic drummer boy design on the reverse. That unique design alone makes it a must-have for any collector, but what makes it even more thrilling is the fact that some of these quarters were made of silver, others have rare mint errors, and a few versions are now bringing in serious value at auctions and coin shows. Now here's where things get exciting. There were two main types of these quarters struck in 1976. One made for general circulation and one special edition made of 40% silver, which came only in collector sets. These silver versions were never meant for everyday use, so if you ever find one in circulation, you've struck something special. These silver quarters have a distinct look and weight compared to the regular copper nickel-clad version, and they are instantly more valuable just based on their composition alone. But it doesn't stop there. There are rare error varieties that have collectors buzzing, things like double die obverse, where you can see slight doubling in the letters or the date, and off-center strikes where the coin design is pushed off from its usual position, even missing clad layers which give the coin a strange coppery look on one side. These types of minting mistakes are not flaws for collectors, they are golden opportunities, and they've been known to push the value of a single quarter way beyond what you'd expect from a coin like this. For collectors who are just getting started, or even those who've been in the hobby for years, here's a tip: always check the edge and the mint mark. If your quarter has an S mint mark, it was made in San Francisco and might be part of a silver proof set. The D means Denver, and no mint mark means it came from Philadelphia. And always keep an eye out for quarters that have a strong clear strike with full drum lines on the reverse and nowhere, because high quality details always matter when it comes to serious value. Across the country, collectors are snapping up clean bicentennial quarters, especially those with rare errors or silver content. In cities like Tampa, Dallas, and Sacramento, these coins have been sold in coin shows and auctions for anywhere from $50 up to over $300, depending on their condition and whether they carry a rare minting error or come from a silver proof set. That's right, a quarter that originally had a market value of just 25 cents is now making real money for collectors who know what to look for. So if you've got one of these 1776 to 1976 quarters, don't toss it aside. It could be part of a historical moment, a valuable collector's item, or even your first big find in coin collecting. Check the details, look for silver versions, and study the strike, because the next great coin story could start right in your hands with a quarter that most people overlook. The original market value of the United States Bicentennial quarter dollar is 25 cents, but rare silver versions and coins with mint errors have sold for over $300 in Sacramento coin auctions and around $150 at collector shows in Dallas, depending on grade and rarity. Top 2. We are about to talk about a coin that many people spend without thinking twice, but collectors know it's something worth paying close attention to: the 1973 United States quarter dollar. If you've got one of these in your collection or just found it in your pocket change, don't move until you hear what makes this coin exciting, rare, and sometimes even surprisingly valuable. The 1973 Washington quarter might look like your everyday coin with the classic image of George Washington on the front and the eagle on the reverse, but there are hidden secrets and rare features that make certain examples of this coin highly collectible. First of all, the coins from this year were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and while most people see them as common, there are a few that stand out due to minting errors, unusual finishes, and their pristine condition, which turns them from regular currency into real collector pieces. Now, what makes the 1973 quarter interesting is that there was no special silver version released for circulation, so every silver-looking quarter from this year is either a mistake or a special proof. If you happen to have a coin that seems shinier, heavier, or just feels different, you could be looking at a proof coin, especially one from the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark. And those proof coins, when preserved properly, are in high demand among collectors, especially when they have that deep cameo contrast finish. And now we get into the fun part, the mint errors and rare details that turn this simple coin into something exciting. Collectors go wild for 1973 quarters with doubling in the date or the lettering, especially if the doubling appears clearly on words like Liberty or I in God We Trust. There are also rare cases of off-center strikes, broad-struck coins, or even quarters that were mistakenly struck on nickel planchets instead of copper nickel-clad. Those kinds of errors are what truly separate the ordinary from the extraordinary, and they've brought some serious prices at auctions around the country, for collectors and coin hunters. Here's a tip. Always look closely at the rim of the coin and the sharpness of the strike. If your quarter has full details in Washington's hair or the eagle's feathers and no signs of where it might be worth more than face value, especially if it's from an uncirculated roll or mint set, and if it has any unusual appearance like a different tone or a softer edge, don't dismiss it. Sometimes those are early signs of a valuable mint error or even a transitional planchet. In recent years, collectors have paid top dollar for rare 1973 quarters with mint errors or in exceptionally high grades. For example, a 1973 D quarter in MS-67 condition sold for over $200 at a coin show in Houston, and a proof coin with deep cameo contrast from the San Francisco Mint sold for more than $150 at a private collector sale in San Diego. That's what makes this coin so interesting. It's affordable to start collecting but offers huge value if you find the right one. So next time you're digging through a jar of change or checking your coin roll, don't skip over that 1973 quarter. It might look like every other quarter at first, but with the right details it could be something rare, something valuable, or even the next big find in your collection. This is one of those coins that reminds us just how exciting and rewarding coin collecting can be. The original market value of the 1973 United States quarter dollar is 25 cents, but rare mint state examples and proof coins have sold for over $200 in Houston coin shows and more than $150 in private collector events in San Diego, depending on condition and rarity. Top 3. Have you ever looked at a simple quarter and wondered if it could actually be worth more than just 25 cents? What if I told you that a 1982 United States quarter dollar, the one most people pass off as spare change, could actually be a hidden gem in your collection or even your pocket right now? This is one of those coins that collectors quietly hunt for, and today you'll find out exactly why the 1982 quarter holds a secret value that surprises even experienced coin lovers. Let's start with something that most people don't even realize. The year 1982 was tough on the United States Mint. The country was going through a major recession, and because of budget cuts the Mint stopped producing uncirculated coin sets for collectors, which was something they normally did every year. That means coins from 1982 like the Washington quarter weren't preserved in large numbers, and most ended up in circulation getting scratched, worn, and damaged fast. That's exactly why finding a 1982 quarter in mint state condition today is a big deal for collectors. The 1982 Washington quarter was struck at 2 mints, Philadelphia and Denver. If you've got one with a D, it came from Denver, and if there's no mint mark, that means it's from Philadelphia. Now here's where it gets more interesting. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 500 million quarters that year, but because there were no mint sets made and most of them were used in everyday transactions, very few have survived in top condition. That makes high-grade examples extremely desirable. But wait, it gets even better. There are rare error coins from 1982 that make collectors go wild. These include off-center strikes, double dies, and even quarters with missing clad layers. Some of these error coins are so rare that collectors will pay hundreds just to own one. A missing clad layer gives the coin a coppery look on one side and a clean silver appearance on the other, and that kind of visual rarity always brings strong bids at auctions and coin shows across the country. Now here's a tip: if you're coin hunting or checking your change, pay close attention to the lettering on the coin, especially on the word Liberty or I in God We Trust. Doubling on those letters can mean a double die variety, which makes the coin more valuable also. Examine the edges. If you see anything unusual like no visible copper edge, or the coin looks darker or lighter than normal, you may be holding an error coin without even knowing it. Another thing collectors look for is the condition. Coins graded MS-65 and above, especially those from Philadelphia with no mint mark, are getting harder to find and more expensive to buy. This is simply because most were never saved in good shape, and when you do find a clean, sharp, detailed 1982 quarter that hasn't been worn down by circulation, that's when the value really begins to climb. In recent years, coins shows in cities like Atlanta and Salt Lake City have seen 1982 quarters in high-grade condition sell for over $100, and error coins with missing clad layers have sold for more than $250 at collector auctions. These aren't just rare coins, they're part of American coinage history, and the demand for them continues to grow as more collectors realize how scarce good examples have become. So if you've got a 1982 quarter in your hand right now, don't just drop it in the vending machine. Take a second look. You might be holding a rare piece of coin history that's becoming harder to find every year. Whether it's a mint state beauty from Philadelphia or a rare error coin from Denver, this little quarter from 1982 has proven it can surprise you big time. The original market value of the 1982 United States quarter dollar is 25 cents, but rare mint condition examples have sold for over $100 in Atlanta. Coin shows and error coins with missing clad layers have reached over $250 in auctions held in Salt Lake City, depending on rarity and condition. Top 4. This is all about one of the hidden treasures, the 1978 United States quarter dollar. At first glance it might look like just another Washington quarter, but let me tell you, this coin carries more value and mystery than most people realize, and if you're a coin collector or even just curious about the coins you carry every day, then you definitely don't want to miss a single second of what we're about to uncover. The 1978 quarter holds a special place in the heart of collectors because it comes from an era where coins were still struck with strong details and full precision by the U.S. Mint. This particular year was part of the last group of quarters before the big change to the Bicentennial design in the previous years, and then the newer state quarters after 1999. So these 70s coins are getting harder and harder to find in clean, uncirculated condition, and that makes them more desirable than ever. Now let's talk mint marks and rarity. Coins from 1978 were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. You'll spot the Denver coins by the little D mint mark just next to Washington's ponytail, and the ones from Philadelphia in 1978 have no mint mark at all. But here's the thing, not all of them were made equal. Coins with sharp clear strikes, strong luster and no wear are extremely collectible, especially when they're graded MS65 or higher by professional services. These high-grade coins are becoming harder to find because most of the 1978 quarters were circulated heavily and used for decades, but the real fun begins when we dive into the rare errors and oddities from this year. There are 1978 quarters out there with off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and even double-die errors. Some have visible doubling in the words "I and God We Trust" or "Liberty," and those kinds of small mistakes at the mint are exactly what collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket change that shows a doubled date or a design that's clearly off-center. That's not a damaged coin, that's a money-making mistake straight from the mint. And here's a tip: if you're searching through old change or maybe coin rolls from the bank, always use good lighting and a magnifying glass to catch these subtle details. Look at the edges too. A missing clad layer will show copper on one side and silver on the other, and that is another rare find worth holding onto. Also, always protect any coin that shows strong detail or no signs of circulation. Keep it in a flip or coin capsule because condition is key when it comes to turning pocket change into a collectible worth real money. Across major coin shows in cities like Boston, Dallas, and even Phoenix, collectors have paid impressive amounts for top condition 1978 quarters. One clean Denver mint quarter graded MS66 was sold in a coin show in Dallas for more than $170, and an off-center strike found in Boston recently went for over $200 at auction. And these aren't special edition coins, they started as everyday change and now they're collectible treasures. So before you overlook that 1978 quarter in your drawer, take a second and really study it, because what looks like just another coin might be a piece of numismatic gold waiting to be discovered. This is the thrill of coin collecting, and this is why collectors are always searching, studying and holding on to pieces like this one. The original market value of the 1978 United States quarter dollar is 25 cents, but rare mint state versions have sold for over $170 in Dallas, and error coins like off-center strikes have crossed $200 in Boston coin auctions, all depending on condition, rarity and collector demand. Top 5, and last coin, we're diving deep into the world of the 1974 United States quarter dollar. A coin that may look common at first, but trust me, it hides some thrilling secrets that every collector should know about. So if you're into coin hunting, collecting, or just curious about what makes certain coins rise in value, then you need to stay with me until the end of this video, because this coin could be a hidden gem in your collection right now. The 1974 quarter is part of the classic Washington quarter series and was struck just 2 years before the special bicentennial coins came into play. That means this quarter marks the final years of a familiar design era before changes started making modern coins look and feel different. What makes the 1974 quarter particularly interesting is not just its age but the fact that millions were made for circulation, yet only a fraction of those survived in pristine condition. That's exactly what gets collectors excited. These coins were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, and if you've got one with a D mint mark under the hairline of Washington's portrait, that's from the Denver Mint. If there's no mint mark at all, it means it was struck in Philadelphia. Now here's a detail most people miss. During 1974 there were no uncirculated sets issued to the public by the mint, so coins from that year were mostly handled by the public and exposed to wear. That makes high-quality examples, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, not just rare but extremely desirable. Now let's talk about rarity and value-boosting errors. The 1974 quarter has produced some truly exciting mint errors. Over the years, collectors have discovered double die obverse with slight but noticeable doubling in words like liberty and in God we trust, which can send the coin's value soaring even higher. There are also known examples of off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and even some struck on the wrong planchet entirely. Imagine finding a 1974 quarter that struck on a nickel blank. Now that's something auction houses love to see. Here's a pro tip for collectors and anyone just getting started. Always check the sharpness of the strike. Look at Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. If the coin shows full crisp detail and minimal where you might be holding something truly collectible. And always check the coin's edge. Some error coins from this year show signs of missing clad layers which leave a distinctive copper tone on one side, and those bring premium prices when discovered in clean condition. Coin shows and online auctions continue to see a steady rise in demand for this coin, especially when it comes in high grade or with rare mint errors. In cities like Portland and Orlando, collectors have paid over $120 for beautifully preserved 1974 quarters, and off-center strikes or double die varieties have reached $200 or more depending on the eye appeal and grade. These coins are not just metal, they're snapshots of American minting history, and that's what makes them so valuable to the right buyer. So next time you're sorting through your change or searching coin rolls, don't overlook that 1974 quarter. It could be more than just pocket change. It could be a rare piece of American numismatic art waiting to be discovered and appreciated by someone who knows what to look for, and maybe, just maybe, that someone is you. The original market value of the 1974 United States quarter dollar is 25 cents, but collectors have paid over $120 for mint state coins at coin shows in Portland and more than $200 for rare error versions in Orlando auctions, all depending on condition and rarity. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and tap that bell icon so you never miss a chance to discover something special hiding in your own pocket change. We've got more real stories and coin collecting secrets coming up, and you won't want to miss a single one. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.